Today we are going to be flipping through the MasterBooks Life Science. This is for grades 3 through 8. My rising 7th grader is going to be using this curriculum for next year. This is for our 2026-2027 school year. We are finishing up the 2025-2026 school year. And I've already got some of my curriculum. I've already done some flip throughs of some other books that we're going to be using for this upcoming year, so you could go back on my channel and find those. They'll be in the same playlist that this video is in. But this one right here is going to be my 7th graders science. She wanted to do, I usually give them kind of a choice, or at least ask their preference of what they want to be learning about. She wanted to do animals, so this was kind of the closest thing I could find. She's going to be doing plants, human body, and then animals. So this curriculum is split up into 3 different parts, and I'm going to show you what everything looks like, go through one book and then the other, and then kind of show you what it looks like to do a day or two of what their suggested schedule looks like what a day of lessons would look like. So I'm going to start. This is all that comes with it. And you can get the, I did not get the science kit or the lab kit that comes with this. I may regret that, I may not. It has a lot of experiments and activities that go along with it. So if you do not buy the kit that goes with it, I didn't get it because it is a lot of money, and there was a lot of stuff in it that I already had. And I think I'll be able to piece it together myself, but we'll see. So other than the lab kit, it's just these 2 books, and I'm going to go ahead and flip through these and show you. They are fairly good sized books. They're soft cover books. And we're going to start with the teacher guide. So this one is the student textbook, and then this one is the teacher guide. There is there's different ways that you can teach this. My style with our kids, they are very much self-taught, so they go through this and read the lessons and answer the questions on their own. But I'll show you what I mean by that, because there's definitely places in here where it's more of a teacher teaching the lesson type thing. All right, again, this is the teacher guide, so it's got the worksheets. Up here it says the weekly lesson schedule, the student worksheets, quizzes and tests, and answer keys is all in here. So we'll just flip through this. I like to flip through the books and show you what all is in here. Here's the table of contents. You can pause and look at that. Down here it talks about doing the tests and different ways that you can do the tests, like do it orally if you need to. Perks of homeschooling, you can change around the schedule, change around the way the course is supposed to be done to make it to fit your kid. So if you need to do the tests and quizzes different ways, or if at this point, depending on, she's not in high school yet, I'm not really that worried about grades as much as when they get into high school and we have to keep a transcript. So do what you will with that, whether you even want to do the quizzes and tests. All right, this is just kind of some information about this curriculum. It does say, let's see, plan on about 40 to 45 minutes. It talks about making this fit for your child, because it is, again, for 3rd through 8th grade. A 3rd grader is going to learn and be able to do a different amount of, a different workload than an 8th grader. So we are going to go on the a little bit harder end of this curriculum, because she is going to be in 7th grade, so she'll be able to do some of the extra stuff. You'll see what I mean by that here in just a minute. All right, some more information about how to teach the course. Different learning styles of the different kids' learning styles kind of explained there. This is the icon key for the different things that you'll see in this book. Activity, tests, it says test your knowledge by answering the what did we learn, so that's questions to answer. The taking it further, that's some of the stuff that the older kids could do. And then the challenge section is it calls it advanced activities. So again, so that would be your 7th, 8th graders, or if you've just got somebody that, even a younger student that's just really into this and wants to spend more time on it. This talks about creation versus evolution. I believe this information is in all of MasterBooks science curriculum, or science books. And then more about teaching science in a Christian way. If you haven't caught on, this is a Christian curriculum. MasterBooks is a Christian curriculum. All right, and here is the suggested daily schedule. I love this. If you know my videos, if you've been following me at all, you know that I love this schedule. I love MasterBooks, how they already have this already laid out. and my kids can just go in here and mark off their days, and I can easily look at this to see where they're at, because they just mark off their days as they go, and I can just easily come in here and be like, oh, you're a little bit behind, or oh, you're a little bit ahead. So it's a 180-day schedule. Goes down to day 180. This is laid out in 4 days a week. If you see, there is a blank on day 5 of all of these weeks. It breaks it down into 2 semesters, 4 quarters. So you've got first semester, first quarter, and it tells them everything to do. It tells them which book to go to. The TG is going to be the teacher's guide. GDL is going to be the God's Design for Life. That's the student book. So it tells you what book to go to, what pages to read. It tells you when it's time to do worksheets and things like that. It lays it all out, tells you what to do. Very easy. It's laid out by the week and the day. Let me flip through here. Gives you a place to record grades and due date. However, you can make this work for you and how you want to set up your schedule for your kids. You can even go through here and mark out the days and make it like lesson 1, lesson 2, and combine them if you want to get it done quicker. Just, kind of make it your own. All of the pages are perforated and they're already 3-hole punched. All of the MasterBooks books are, or I say all of them, I think all of the MasterBook books are like that. So you can pull this out and you can keep this yourself if you want to, if you're teaching the class instead of letting them do it on their own. However you want to do that. All right, plant worksheets. So like I said, this is split up into 3 different sections. You've got plants, human body, and then animals. So this is the one about plants. That'll be the first section. I'm not going to go through this too in depth because we'll come back to this, but these are the worksheets. It gives you the day. So if you're confused, when they're flipping back and forth or you don't know which one to use, it's also labeled in here, Unit 1, Lesson 1, Day 1. And then I'm just going to flip through here. It's Day 121, Unit 1, Lesson 2. So you can go back and see, if you get off track, you can see what it belongs to, which one it belongs to. I am going to kind of, let's see. Well, I'll show you some of the activities later. But anyway, this is every day. I don't think they're going to be answering questions every day, but this goes with every lesson. So this is the 3 different sections. Here's human body section. And then you've got the animal section, snakes, insects, crustaceans. So these are the daily worksheets, and then I'm trying to get to the next section. All right, I think is this the answer? Yep, answer worksheet, answer keys, and it is split up into the 3 different sections. So it says the plants and animals there. And I'm trying to get to the next one, see if it's separated. Yep, and then human body. So that's the second section. And then world of animals. Get to the end of that. Quiz answers, and it's also in the different sections. So when you're flipping through, you can make sure you're in the right section so you don't get confused. All right, and then the next one is these, let's see, what was that? That's still answers. Supply list. This is in alphabetical order, but then it tells you which lesson you're going to need that item in. So there's a whole list. I wish it would list it by, I say this every time, I wish it would list it by lesson, in chronological order of what you're going to need instead of in alphabetical order. But anyway, it's all here, everything that you're going to need. And then some extra resources like books or field trip ideas for the different sections. And then here's again, and it's listed in alphabetical order. This is the supply list. The first one was for the plants, and then this one is for the human body section. And then same thing, resources, supply list for the animal section. Glossary for the different sections. And that is it. Now we are going to look at the student reader. Give it a little flip through, and then I'll go back and show you what a lot of those like activities and experiments and things are. We're going to flip through this book first. This is in color. Here's the table of contents here. It's broken up so you can kind of see what they're going to be looking at. That's the plants. And then this starts into the human body. And then the animals. This is again kind of talking about the course and how to teach it. And then you get into the units. Unit 1. This breaks down and tells you what you're going to be learning about, and then what you are going to need to do, like identify the 6 characteristics of living things, identify the 5 kingdoms of living things, identify the method of classification of living things, describe the need for scientific names, and describe basic parts of a cell using models. So it gives a breakdown of everything they're going to be doing. Each section has this, words to know, and then challenge words, and those were in the back of the book as well, like the definitions, I do believe. And then there's the questions, what did we learn, taking it further. These are the ones that were for the more advanced students or the older students. There are going to be parts where they read about different scientists. So this one's Louis Pasteur, that they're going to be, I think this might be a whole day. I don't know. I had to go back and look at this on day 1 or day 2, I think, of their lesson plan, that they stop and read this. And this would be a good extra if you want to do some extra reading, if you're looking for like literature and something to go along with this. She's going to be doing literature with her history. So I may mix in, if I think she needs some more reading, I may throw in some like extra scientists or something to go along with this, so that she can read even more about these scientists if it's one that she's really interested in. And then we're into lesson 2. I like that these books are in color. Science, I think, is really boring when you have books that are not in color. George Washington Carver. Just flipping through this a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back to the lessons or the schedule and show you what the days look like. And we may look at some of this a little bit closer. If there's anything specific that you want to see in this book, you can leave a comment, and I can maybe do a short video to show something that I missed. Maybe do a short or something, and then, or I can answer questions in the comments. Special feature is where it stops and lets them read about specific people. That's what they call it, is a special feature. The blue section here, with the little beaker, I think is what it's called, that's where they do their experiments and things. It'll be in those blue right there. Oh, their big, if I forget to get to it, their big project, I think, for I don't know if it's for the entire book, or if they're going to have 3 big projects, but one of them is where they have to do a life-size, like a life-size drawing of themselves, like you would get that brown like craft paper and roll it out, like the rolls that are like 3 foot wide. We've got a little bit of that here at my house, so I'm going to use that. You can buy it at craft stores or whatever, but something that your kid can lay down on and do an outline of themselves, and then they're going to fill it out kind of like this, and they have to label all the different body systems. Again, just flipping through here a little bit. There are a lot of experiments. I think there might be more in this one than the one she's doing this year. All right, but I'm hoping they're a little bit easier. Let's go back to the schedule and show you what day 1 looks like. All right, so day 1, it says The World of Plants, Unit 1, Introduction to Life Science. Read Lesson 1, Is It Alive? Pages 14 through 17 in this book. Then complete worksheet, pages 25 and 26 in this book. So I think I've got enough room here. I might can have both of these books open at the same time. So we're going to go to this book in page 14 through 17 and show you what that looks like in one day. All right, so 14, 15. Oops, I skipped a page. 16 and 17. Complete worksheet, page 25, 26. Here's 25. Supply list, copy of Is It Alive worksheet, which is over here. And that was, let's see, I think that was on this page where they were reading it. Oh, right here. That was the activity. Again, see that this is the blue square. So copy of Is It Alive worksheet, 6 items to display or discuss, some living, some non-living, like book, pet, can, eraser, plant, etc. So this little experiment, it says use a copy of the Is It Alive scavenger hunt worksheet, which was this right here, the back side, to determine whether items inside and outside of your house are alive or not. So you would pick an item and then answer all these questions about it. Does it eat? Does it breathe? Does it grow? Does it reproduce? Can it move? Does it have cells? Is it alive? And you would do that with these different items and fill out this worksheet. And then the questions here, be sure to examine several different types of items, including plants, animals, and non-living things. Write the name of the item you are examining in the first column. Answer each question with a yes, no, or don't know. If all of the answers are yes, then the item is alive. So that's just on day 1. They're doing this little scavenger hunt, gathering these materials. This would be something that you could let them go and do as a scavenger hunt, or it could be stuff that you already have laid out for them to start this little experiment with. All right, let's go back. Finishing this page, Is It Alive scavenger hunt. Okay, read about the Is It Alive scavenger hunt on page 16 of your student book. All right, we already covered all that. Law of biogenesis. Read about the law of biogenesis on page 16 and 17 of the student book. Explain it to your teacher. That was this. Okay, I said this was about Louis Pasteur. They probably mentioned him in here, so that was not exactly all about him. It's about the law of biogenesis. And then explain it to your teacher. So they're supposed to come and talk to you about that. So if this is like how we do with our kids, they're not necessarily going to have our attention at the time that they're doing this. This may be something that I would maybe have them write a little paragraph about it, or they just have to come get us later when we've got time to sit down and listen to them. What did we learn? What are the 6 questions you should ask to remember if something is biologically alive? That goes back to the Is It Alive worksheet that they did. Does the Bible refer to plants as living things? Taking it further, do scientists consider a piece of wood that has been cut off of a tree living? Hint, is it growing? Can it respond? Is paper alive? Is a seed alive? All right, and then that is all for day 1. Day 2, read lesson 2, What is a Kingdom? Pages 18 through 20. And that would be in this book. Let's see what that looks like. 18, 19, there's an activity, and 20. Complete worksheet, page 27 through 29 in this book. Let's see what that looks like. All right, page 27, and see again here it says day 2, so later on, if you get confused, you can go back and look on what day they're at. That would be the easiest way to match up where they're supposed to be. All right, what is a kingdom? It's alive, but what is it? Supply list on this one: poster board, pen, copy of clue cards, which are right here, and scissors. They're going to be making a little poster board that looks like this and using these things cut out to put onto the board. So it's like, you know, you're only on day 2 and you're already doing 2 really hands-on activities. See page 19 of the student textbook for directions for this activity. Clue cards are found on page 29 of this teacher guide. That was what I showed you on the next page. If using the course with younger children, the instructor may want to cut out the cards for the game. Let's see. And then be sure to choose both an animal and a plant. Do you understand how the text keys are used in the communications with your teacher? And this is another explain to your teacher what you have learned. I don't know how often if that's gonna be an everyday thing where they're supposed to come and talk to you about this. If it is, you may want to like set up a certain time that they do this subject so that it's during a time that you can be more involved in it so that they can come and talk to you, or either go ahead and have like I'm gonna have them My daughter have definitely a science notebook where she can write stuff down in, and that'll probably be what I do. So she'll write down, day 2, and then her challenge paragraph. Instead of coming to talk to us every day and waiting on us, she'll just write it down and have like a journal. And then the what did you learn? And then this one also has a taking it further for the older, more advanced students. And I think that was it. Yep. This is blank on this side because they're going to be cutting this out. And that's something, if like it was saying, if you've got a younger kid that's doing this, you could go ahead. This would be something the day before, maybe you would go ahead and have cut out and ready to go and get the poster board ready to go. You'd use like, these are kind of small, so you could probably use like a piece of cardstock or something for this. I don't think it needs to be anything huge. So that's kind of shows you what day 1 and day 2 are going to be. I'm just going to flip through here, maybe just go to a random lesson and just see what it's going to look like. Let's go further in. All right, this is day 47, unit 6, lesson 27, parasites and passengers living off each other. The supply list for this day is a drinking straw, field guide to plants, knife or scissors, sink, coffee stirrer, or a narrow straw. You're doing a parasite model activity. Discover how a parasite steals nutrients from its host by following the activity directions on page 110 of the student book. Let's flip over there and look at that really quick, see what that is. I think my daughter is going to have a lot of fun with this next year. Parasite model. Purpose: to demonstrate how a parasite steals nutrients from its host. Then it gives the materials that you need. Procedure: cut a small hole in the side near the center of a soda straw. The hole should be the same size as a coffee stirrer or smaller straw. Insert a coffee stirrer into the hole so that the edge is in the center of the straw. Angle the coffee stirrer so that it is positioning slightly down, not straight out to the side. The stirrer represents the haustoria, or suckers, that the parasitic plant sends into the host plant. Place the straw under running water in the sink. Conclusion: observe how most of the water flows out of the bottom of the straw, but some of the water flows out of the coffee stirrer. The smaller amount of water represents the nutrients that would flow into the parasitic plant. Whoop. And then you have another one that you could do, because it says, if possible, go outside and search for parasitic plants. So that's something if you want to do a little bit extra. Let's flip and look at another one. Oh, it looks like we're cutting out skeleton here. Sandy skeleton. Keep assembled skeleton for use in future lessons. So they're making a little skeleton. Looks like probably going to need like little pins. I forget what you call those, like the butterfly looking pins. What are those called? Fasteners? I'm guessing that's probably what that's going to be. The skeletal system. Supply list. Sandy skeleton. Scissors. Paper fasten. Yeah, there we go. 5 paper fasteners for each child. So you're putting your little skeleton together. Let me go back here and kind of look at some of these experiments. Nutrition. Eating a healthy meal. Plan a healthy lunch for you and your family. Be sure to select foods from all the different food groups. Examining your skin. Purpose: to observe the skin on the various parts of your body. Materials: a mirror and hand lotion. Compare the color, texture, and overall appearance of the skin in each area. Back of your hand, fingertips, bottoms of your feet, forehead, and knee. This would be something maybe fun to do with multiple family members. Body poster. I think this was the, yep, because it says conclusion here. So this was kind of the bigger experiment or activity that they do to make a full-size drawing of your body systems. What you need: large piece of paper, pen or marker, anatomy guide, which I think is in the book. Procedure: lie down on a piece of large paper, such as a roll of newsprint. Have someone trace around your body with a pen or marker. And then that's talking about drawing in the different body systems. And then we're on to animals. Let's look at some of these activities. Mammals have fur. Complete the mammals have fur worksheet. See, this is page 267. let's go back and look and see where this is going to be at. Page 267. That's somewhere around here. 267. Whoop, right here, day 152. Supply list, a good imagination, whiteboard, or markers. Did I miss it? 152, 152. Oh, I think I got something mixed up. Mammals, heifer, 267. Let's check the next one. Nope, I mixed something up. Anyway, let's go look at another one. This one was going to be, there's a worksheet somewhere in here that I've skipped over. Let's look at another one. Acting like a whale. Activity 1, Activity 2, materials, a stopwatch. So this is just them doing something. There's not any materials that they have to have. And then this one, Activity 2, you need nuts, fruits, vegetables, a knife, a toothbrush, 2 cups, and water. No idea what that's about. There's activities all over this book. Every day I think there's going to be an activity that you can do, which also means that you got to make sure. Oh, I was going to say there's an owl pellet in this one, an owl pellet dissection. If you don't know what an owl pellet is, you have to go look it up. I remember doing that when I was in like middle school, I think, and I'm kind of excited to help her do this because she's going to be grossed out. But just about every day there is some sort of activity to do. All right, I think I covered everything that I normally cover in here. That was a little bit shorter of a video than I think that I normally do. Maybe, maybe not. If there was anything that I left out of here that you want to see, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to go back and answer those questions, or maybe post another short or something if there was something you actually wanted to see. But if you just have a question about something, leave it in the comments, and I will be happy to answer that. And I will see you back again. I've got some more. I think I got some more MasterBooks to show you, but we'll be doing some more curriculum flip-throughs in the coming weeks. I will see you in the next video.